Welcome. We're learning 3D Max and you're watching 5 Minute Max. In previous lecture, we have learned about torus, and in today's lecture, we'll be learning about the next thing on the menu, which is something you can consider as an interesting part of any 3D program or many 3D programs. It's a teapot. Well, you can just think, okay, what teapot's doing inside standard primitives. Okay, it is a primitive. It is a standard primitives, and it is a very simple standard primitives, but it has multiple primitives attached to it. But there are stories behind this whole invention of teapot. Martin Newell, greatest computer scientist, he was having tea with his wife on an evening, and was sharing what he was worried about, and he had to come up with a design idea for the next project, and his wife just said, okay, well, why don't you come up with the idea of a tea service or like a teapot. Then he thought about that, and later he created a mathematical equation using teapot, using Bezier, which we will learn on the later lessons. And he really created a very standard premise with very simpler shapes, a shape of a teapot. And since then, it has been one of those expression. If you were into computer programming, then you can often hear the term "hello world," which is a syntax or like an expression which like prints or echoes out from any programming language to show, okay, the program is working. So for understanding the standard primitives are working, or a complex standard primitive could be considered as a teapot. So it's Utah teapot. You can obviously wiki that and learn more about it, but let's just create that thing. So we're under common panel, that's on my right in this episode, well, on most of my episodes, but for your case it could be on the left side. But the first one under command panel is the create tab. So underneath we are on the geometry and standard primitives. So under standard primitives we have already gone to torus, so we are going to teapot. Let's press that, make it blue. Let's create the teapot. Okay, once you have activated the teapot button, just drag and it's done. In many cases it's easier than building other standard primitives. For torus you have to click more than once to create that, but for a teapot you just drag once and it just creates a teapot. So let's get rid of this crosshair teapot creating mouse. So just press select object or a left click, either way works. Now let's maximize the viewport, see the teapots. So you can see, if you select this teapot and go to the modify tab, which is right beside the create tab, and once it's selected you can see all the parameters. There's not much you have to learn here. It's just a radius of the teapot, so the base, the radius, so you can basically just makes it bigger or smaller. And it has segments. If you go to the front view, you can increase that. If you turn it up to 20, it gets smoother. So if you maximize this viewport again, you can see it's smoother. And it has different parts you can enable or disable. So say I just want pot like that, and it will create something interesting. And you can also get rid of the primitives within the standard primitives, which is all these parts. So this is the teapot, interesting one, and we'll be learning all the tools under standard primitives on next class. And hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think about that.